Alright guys, so as you can see, I've got this stain here, and I already started spraying. That's just Guire's all-purpose cleaner sprayed right there. And so I started, and then I thought, well, let me make a video about this, because what I did was pre-soak it with all-purpose cleaner. But what I'm going to do is take my Tornador Classic here and go at this. And I've also got a little scrub brush here. I'm going to do some agitating with that as well. Matter of fact, I'll go ahead and do that. And as I do this, sorry for the shakiness, I figured I'd let you see what I'm doing. But by the way, I just want to say in this video, to the guys that were interested in the Tornador videos, I actually got the Tornador Velocity Vac, the dry one, and we tried it out, and I just wasn't impressed at all. I really think this Tornador, I think that they were trying to really emulate the Tornador, what the Tornador Classic does, which is it agitates, but it also pulls stuff out. And you know, which the vacuum, well, it should have worked better than it did, but it just, yeah, it didn't work great. So I didn't even bother with making a video on it. So I'm sending it back, and I just wanted, you know, to throw that in here for the guys that, you know, are probably going to watch this Tornador video. Just wanted to let you know I did get that Velocity Vac, and I don't recommend it. Now, I can't speak on the wet one, the one that has the tank on it. I thought about getting that and trying it out, because it does have, you know, that whole nother aspect to it where it can shampoo basically. Like on this situation right here, it would be a good one to test it on. And so I'll consider getting that one and testing it out for y'all. But right now, let's go in here. I basically just got water in here. It's still got a little bit of that window cleaner or multi-surface cleaner in here. It's very dilute, so it's basically just water. Just wanted to let y'all know what I'm using here. I've got the valve up, and I'm gonna spray it with some water here. So let's go. Well, if I had it hooked up, that would really help. All right, got it hooked up. So as y'all can see, it's not, and I really, you know, this stain here, I don't know what it is. It doesn't look like it's blood, but it's definitely a hard stain to remove. Not exactly sure how long it's been here. That plays, you know, it's got a big factor in it, but you know, it might have been some red Kool-Aid or something, but I really didn't expect a miracle here. I can tell that the Tornador was pulling some of it out. I could see the red coming out, but you know, I didn't expect a miracle here. And now I could go get a more aggressive cleaner, and you know, and I might try that, but I just figured, you know, I'd make it anyways. And I wanted to show, you know, kind of the limitations that the Tornador, I don't want you to think that I'm, you know, trying to make this thing out to be a miracle worker, that it'll get every single stain out, because there's some that, you know, it just won't come out, you know, even with an extractor. Sometimes you can make it worse with an extractor. And although that is one of the reasons I like this Tornador, especially for like doing headliners, it puts out, you can make it put out very little liquid and not oversaturate things. I know probably in this video that looked like a lot of liquid. Keep in mind, I did put a heavy dose of this on there before I was even using liquid, but the liquid that comes out of this is really not that much. I mean, if I fill this tank up, it'll last forever. So yeah, I mean, that kind of shows you, gives you an idea of the limitations. And I might come back and I might try something else on this real quick. Alright guys, so I went and got me my citral. This is diluted about 50-50, I believe. The vast majority of the time I find that you can run this diluted like 50-50, sometimes even more. I've only had to use it straight like one time. That was to get paint overspray off. So because this mixture right here, I can get tar and bugs off very easily. This stuff is amazing. So have no idea if it's gonna do anything to this stain right here. It probably doesn't look like it on video much, but the Tornador, using the Meguiar's all-purpose cleaner, the brush and the Tornador did take a little bit up, but you know, not really enough to, definitely not enough for me to even say anything about, you know, to the customer about attempting to get it out. You know, it's more than likely just one of these situations where it's, you know, the right circumstances of whatever it was that spilt, and the time that it sat here was just a little too much. And so, you know, that's one of the things, you know, fabric guards, I really need to be telling my customers more about it. You know, normally in newer vehicles I do stuff like this where they've already got stains. They usually don't care, but that fabric guard, I've been using Scotch Guard, and I've thought about trying some other ones from you know, your name brands in the car business, but anyways, yeah, Scotch Guard or fabric guard can make a huge difference. You know, and you do still have to go in and, you know, I'd tell him he'd have to go in and try to clean it up fairly quick after it happened, but it makes it where you're way more likely to be able to get a stain out, one that normally wouldn't come out. So let's let me flip this valve. So definitely on camera, from what it looks like to me, I don't know what y'all can really see because I'm not staring at the screen, but when I look at it afterwards through the screen, it's not looking like much, like, you know, especially this one in the center, it's not looking like it's doing much to it. But I don't know if y'all could tell, this one up top, it's definitely diminishing it. And so possibly if I kept going at it, it looks like the citral with the Tornador would hold on, zoomed you in there. It definitely looks like if I kept going with citral that it might, you know, diminish it like it did this one up here. But like I said, I just, you know, wanted to make it to show you guys kind of the limitations of the Tornador, or, you know, any tool for that matter. Like I said, taking an extractor of this, it could possibly make it worse, because if that stuff's soaked in deep down in there, it might pull that up and actually make it bleed and get even bigger. So that's why I don't like doing that on these type of stains. If I can get it with the Tornador, or just, you know, a brush and mopping it up with a towel, then, you know, good. But if not, ones like this, you can definitely make it worse on. So, you know, and you do want to be careful. Like I said, it puts out very little liquid, but if you just sit there on it, and there's no need to, but if you do that, eventually it's going to put out enough liquid to, you know, possibly make that bleed, so, or bleed out. But you know, other than that, guys, that'll be it for this video. Like always, if y'all have any questions, leave them down in the comments. You know, I encourage y'all to leave comments as well. I want to thank you, everyone that has been leaving comments or, you know, or asking questions. I definitely appreciate it. I enjoy seeing them. I enjoy interacting with y'all. And I'd like to interact with y'all more, you know, and I also want to say, you know, I don't mention much about subscribers, but for the people that do subscribe, it just tells me that, you know, there's some people that are actually watching these videos, interested in what I'm doing here, and so you know, it makes me want to put more out for you guys. So but other than that, y'all either be good or be good at it.